Hello everyone, Squared Circle Wrestling is back with another episode which includes Saraya struggles with drug addiction following injury and sex tape leaks, WWE planning historic title reign for Roman Reigns, WWE Hall of Famer thinks Goldberg vs Wardlow in AEW would be total and complete disaster, Sami Zayn had to take a huge pay cut to sign WWE contract, more new championships designs to debut after WWE draft, Goldberg to appear at a pro wrestling event for the first time since WWE release, and much more. You can check the complete list with time chapters in the description box below. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to our channel for all the latest news. Our first story looks at Saraya's struggles with drug addiction following injury and sex tape leaks. Speaking about her past toxic relationships, leaked sex tapes, and her drugs and alcohol addiction following her neck injury, AEW star Saraya revealed, "I was in an awful relationship at the time, and then I had awful friends around me and just people that weren't good for my mental health, or just good influence on me whatsoever. I was just drinking, and then the pain never fully went away on my neck, so then I wanted to try and take the pain away. It was like Percocets, I loved those, and then I started doing a lot of cocaine too." The former WWE star also revealed, her leaked sex tapes almost ruined her life. "I was just in a very bad place mentally, like I was completely broken down, and then in the middle of that, they had some sex tapes released of me from when I was 19 years old. People were just so mean to me even in the street and stuff like that. So then I started doing more drugs and drinking more. It was gonna be stopped at one point because of me doing drugs and just being an absolute chaotic psychopath. I was already a effing cokehead at this time and loved to drink. It got me to rock bottom where I didn't want to live anymore. It was awful. I was so effing sad. I remember being like, if my dad is disappointed in me, I don't think I can be here anymore." Next up, WWE planning historic title reign for Roman Reigns. Jim Valley tweeted about Roman Reigns potentially surpassing Hulk Hogan's 1,474-day reign as the third longest world champion of all time. "The introduction of the new WWE World Heavyweight title says to me that Roman Reigns is going to be champion much longer than 1,000 days. I think Roman might be poised to surpass Hulk Hogan's first title reign." Andrew Zarian responded to Jim Valley's tweet about Roman Reigns by tweeting, "I have been told numerous times that WWE wants to update its history books and needs longer title reigns. What do you think? How long should Reign hold the title? Let us know in the comments below." Next up, Sami Zayn had to take a huge pay cut to sign WWE contract. In a recent interview with Whiskey Ginger, the current one-half of Undisputed Tag Team Champions, Sami Zayn, disclosed that his developmental contract was less of what he made on the indie scene at the time. "When I signed for WWE, I actually took a pay cut because it's like, okay, you're signing for WWE. It's like the opportunity to make money, right? I think my last year on the independent. I'm throwing all these numbers out willy-nilly, but whatever. So, I think my last year on the independent, I made somewhere around $100,000 and I signed my first WWE contract for $39,000. Next up, CM Punk, a 9-time WWE champion backstage at Impact Wrestling TV tapings. CM Punk was seen backstage at Impact Wrestling TV tapings in Chicago. According to the latest report from Fightful Select, Punk was welcomed there and was brought through by security past numerous fans. Former Impact Knockouts champion Jordan Grace also confirmed that Punk was backstage. Grace shared the photo on Twitter with Punk with the caption, "You just never know who's gonna show up at Impact Wrestling." It was added, though Punk isn't the only one who is backstage tonight for Impact's tapings. As reported earlier, Mercedes Money was spotted in the area and later took to social media to reveal that she got a ticket. She's not expected to wrestle at the event and is there just for her friend and former WWE Women's Tag Team partner, Trinity Fatu. It was added, Punk's visit with WWE went quite differently than his Impact visit. He was backstage during this past Monday's episode of WWE Raw and visited several people, reportedly even WWE Chief Content Officer Paul Triple H Levesque. Punk was later asked to leave the arena. Next up, more new championships designs to debut after WWE drafts. WWE introduced a brand new World Heavyweight Championship for the Raw brand in the recent week. There are rumors that WWE might introduce new sets of championships after WWE drafts. Zero News reported that both Raw and SmackDown will have a new set of tag team titles. Raw tag titles will be renamed to World Tag Titles and SmackDown tag team titles will be renamed to WWE Tag Titles. Raw and SmackDown Women's Championship will also be given a new name and all these championship name changes will be reflected after the Backlash Premium Live event. It was also noted that a brand new design for WWE Universal Championship will also be seen, as WWE has introduced a new world title keeping WWE and Universal Championship together. Next up, top WWE female star admitted she had a crush on Randy Orton. Multi-time women's champion Charlotte Flair wrote about Orton and confessed on having a crush on former world champion when she was in high school. After the show that night, my parents let me go out with the kids. I was with Stacy Cabler, Randy Orton, Victoria, Hurricane Helms, and Tori Wilson. Since I was in Europe, I was legally allowed to enjoy drinks with them. They watched over me like I was their little sister, which was unfortunate for me because, in high school, I had a crush on Randy. I hoped, as a high school girl would, that he'd see me in another way, not as his little sister. What high school girl wouldn't? That didn't happen. Next up, WWE Hall of Famer thinks Goldberg vs. Wardlow in AEW would be total and complete disaster. Speaking on his Hall of Fame podcast, WWE Hall of Famer Booker T shared his thoughts on a match between Goldberg and Wardlow. He said, "No, not for me. It's great on paper. It's something I could see headlining the marquee. I could see that. But I'm talking about what could happen in an actual match between Wardlow and Goldberg. That could be a disaster, a total and complete disaster. I would not recommend this match." Booker T also named AEW wrestler he wanted to face Goldberg in AEW. Darby Allin. Goldberg can beat him up and get out there. That would be my pick. Would you like to see Goldberg vs. Darby Allin in AEW? Let us know in the comments below. Next up, Matt Hardy says, Cody Rhodes needs to beat Roman Reigns and comments on new World Championship. On his Extreme Life of Matt Hardy podcast, AEW star Matt Hardy commented on WWE introducing new World Heavyweight Championship. "I'm okay with it. I know there were a lot of people right from the jump who came out and said they didn't like it. But I'm okay with the design. It's a combination of the big WWE symbol and a big gold belt, and I'm okay with it. I think it'll grow on me as time goes on." He also wanted WWE to continue feud between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. "I still think the title we need to see Cody win is Roman Reigns' Undisputed Universal Championship. He ultimately has to win that at the end of the day. He needs to be the guy to unseat him. If you really want to make him the face of the company, and I think he's a guy who there's a huge argument for making him the face of the company currently, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I think someone else greatly benefits from winning the World Heavyweight title, and we'll see what the future holds for Cody Rhodes." Next up, Jim Ross names 2 future faces of AEW. During the latest episode of Grilling JR, AEW commentator Jim Ross put forth 2 names he sees as future faces of AEW. He said, "Wardlow would come to my mind quite frankly, and quickly. I think Wardlow is good. I think that Willie Hobbs has got a great upside and future. He's got a great look, a wonderful attitude. I think both those guys have the chance to be the big foundation pieces. They're both very good. They're both young, big, strong, athletic. And I really enjoy working with both those guys. They'll ask me questions about the last match they had that they thought I might have seen. And I've pretty much seen them all. I think those 2 guys are the likely candidates. Are they the only candidates I'm thinking of? Probably not, but they're the top of the list." Next up, update on Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss WWE status, why they weren't included in draft pool. During Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer spoke on Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt's situation. He said, "There was nothing on Bray Wyatt whatsoever, and not just him, but nothing on Alexa Bliss either, and Alexa Bliss is ready to return." So, that tells me that they have plans for Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt together, because if they didn't have plans for them together, then Alexa Bliss would have been back, and she would have been drafted and she was not. Boozer 666 stated that Alexa Bliss services are wanted in Saudi Arabia for their Night of Champions pay-per-view, and is returning to WWE soon. Alexa Bliss wanted for Saudi PLE, so expect a return after Backlash. Next up, Goldberg to appear at a pro wrestling event for the first time since WWE release. Several promotions have reached out to Goldberg for a potential in-ring appearance, including one in Israel, but we now know when his next appearance will be, though he won't be wrestling. WWE Hall of Famer Diamond Dallas Page shared an advertisement for this weekend's For the Love of Wrestling event in Manchester, England. The poster features former WCW heavyweight champions, listing Goldberg alongside Diamond Dallas Page, Booker T, Kevin Nash, and Big Show. Next up, Naomi opens up about her WWE exit. Trinity Fatu, formerly known as Naomi, recently made her debut for Impact Wrestling. During a recent interview with NBC Chicago, Fatu spoke about her departure from WWE. She said, "It took a little time to just process everything and really sort out what I want to do, where I want to be. I feel like it was a blessing in disguise. I feel that it's allowed me to grow and become better in every way, in every aspect. I chose Impact because I really, truly believe that it's one of the best women's division. I've been watching these women for years from afar, and I've always admired the talent here." And that is all for today's news. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel Squared Circle Wrestling for all the latest updates.